this is the 10th year basically. Talking about it, it's not like a grand achievement, right? If anything, it's just induced more shame. Like fucking 10 years, man. How can one be addicted that long? Adult content has bring me this chaos but also comfort. Even though I am still actively watching every 1 or 2 days, I feel more insight. I feel more healed over the time, especially this year in specific, because I have more safe space for myself. Adult content is not really the most suitable things to explore your sexual desire or whatever. I'm sure somehow the education is going to be more efficient, but since it's not publicly talked about, right? I mean, if you have a place that has that type of education and you just walk in like that, it can feel shame. It's kind of weird to me that how adult content is what a lot of people actively consume and yet don't really talk about it. Now, if you have watched adult content more or less in your life, you know you have saw those thumbnail preview in a homepage or whatever advertisement that is just so extreme that you just can't unseen it. It's just too much for you. And maybe it's too much for you, but it's someone else liking, right? Pretty common too. So those are definitely not my thing. So basically I just aroused to skirts, dress in general. Talk about it feels kind of weird as well. It's like, why am I why am I telling people these things, right? But I think it's an important thing to be open to the problem that I have as well, to sort of share the light. It's your desire after all, so you go ahead and enjoy it. I'm just gonna like what I like. People sometimes just throw words around and be like, it's just a joke, man. But they don't realize how much damage it can cause, because truth is, you probably don't just hurt from that one person, right? All this shame through jokes or like very serious judgment, or even being distant because of the things that you like, it can bring a lot of shame. And why do I think that content somehow going to make you consume it more, the more shame that you have? In a way, adult content is like a invitation, right? Let's say I like skirt, right? And then people judge it like, it's bad, man. It's not good. Shame on you. I mean, where else can I feel this safe space, an outlet to express myself, my passion, what moves me, which is adult content. There are people specifically make this type of content, and then it's sort of like this signal and invitation saying that, hey, I make this type of content, I welcome you to watch. And so that's why it's easy to use adult content as a safe space to cope with emotions. It sort of calm you down, but actually in the long run it makes you more anxious. In this 10 years, right, even though I've been watching it very frequently, there were times I watch once a week, but most of the time I watch every 2 days. There were even times where I watch every 2 days and then every 2 times in a day. So that's like, let's say Monday I watch twice, Wednesday I watch twice, which is a lot, man. I mean, I'm surprised how my little bro is still holding on, but I can definitely see some difficulty going to the toilet because of how frequent that I do these things. How did I manage to heal more despite on the surface I'm still doing it every 2 days? Awareness. Something that people, including myself, aren't aware of, aren't conscious about. It can be an outlet to numb yourself. Whether it's social media or video game, is the same thing too. I noticed how back then I was so caught up with social media and video game that I regret. No more playing late game. Still do it again the same day. And it can be a very unhealthy cycle because you want to change, you can't change, you feel shame, and then you go back to video gaming again. The same thing goes with adult content. But what I notice is the changes really comes from understanding what is my lacking, what is missing within my heart, and what do I need from the things that I watch. Sometimes I watch intercourse. I don't know if that's the right word. Sometimes I just watch softcore. Sometimes I watch 3D, man. So there are reasons why I watch what I watch, right? Although if you ask yourself directly, you may not have the answer, but it's a good practice to keep observing. How am I feeling right now? Maybe I'm feeling stressed with my family. Maybe I'm feeling anxious about finding a job. And then so I turn into adult content. And then someday you notice softcore is actually enough for you to feel satisfied. And then someday you just need more and more extreme. And over the time, when you are addicted to adult content, you are going to feel desensitized. Desensitized, because you numb yourself. At least in my case, I did feel that. And when I share with my friend, I feel like, oh shit, I'm watching more extreme stuff right now. And then to her, it's considered normal. But the point is not how she think about what I watch, it's how I think about what I watch. Because I usually like something softer, and then so over the time when I watch adult content, it's more like the force. It definitely can bring more shame. I have once seen this quote where it says, compassion is the antidote of shame, which is some of the hardest thing because I'm wired to think logically, right? My upbringing is basically doing the right things, don't mess things up, and then fix problem. And so when it comes to having addiction, the very logical idea is to solve this problem, get rid of addiction, then I would be happy. But that's when I realized, after years trying to conquer this shit, it doesn't work, because I never understood why I look at adult content to begin with. I just keep wanting to quit. Another part of me wants it. It needs it, like air, like water. And you know that feeling too. If you don't watch it, your mind gonna go back and forth. You can't focus on your work. And then you're just gonna keep constantly suffocating with belly stress or back stress. It's just a very difficult process to navigate, and then you end up doing it, and then now you just regret. So that's why I share this video. Initially I wanted to share a video when I actually heal from it, but I also wanted to share the journey of living with my addiction and learning to understand what do I need, what is missing, why do I act how I act. And you don't always need to go into problem solving, right? It's not always why equal to answer. Sometimes it's just having the answer just there and just let it stay for a little bit. Eventually you might just see the answer. But I think the point of healing from addiction is actually to be with oneself. That's when I start to feel more healed, because I start to become more gentle and compassionate to myself rather than always just choose A or B, which is recently what this channel keep focusing about, yin or yang. There's two parts of you wanting multiple things, and to try to choose one thing over the other sometimes can just feel like trying to replace one. You just want all white or all black, which is not very possible in a sense, because ultimately if you do not understand what you need, you are just going to keep hitting left and right, and then 20 years later still the same problem. So therefore it's not just about conquering. At least that's not what I believe. I see strength through softness, while the world teach me to be tough. Deal with it, suck it up. And that's why I make this channel as well too, to inspire people, to let them know that yes, you can heal differently. you can live differently. You don't have to follow every way that people tell you to do. You can hear the kids making a lot of noise all the way when I record video, but that's how I learn to live with it, adapt it. I can't change, right? There are things that I like about regarding my sexual arousal. I feel shameful as well, which is why I suddenly thought about making this video, because I want you to know it's okay to feel this shame, because for a long time you don't feel accepted for being yourself. So it's easy to want the world to approve you, to accept, to validate you, so you feel safe with who you are. But then it becomes this empty void, this empty cup that no matter how many water you pour inside, it will always be leaking, and you always need more water to fill. And that's why the cycle of addiction doesn't seem to end, no matter how you conquer it. Through my journey, especially this year, I start to understand the key. It's not really about being successful or how skillful or how powerful I've become, actually. It's about being with oneself, being with myself, no matter what the situation is. Whether the kids are way too loud, whether I'm gonna fail or I'm gonna success, whether I'm gonna be rich or die from poverty, whether I'm gonna still be addicted for the next 10 years. The goal is to be with self, and maybe that's what they mean by you are a human being, not a human doing. And it's interesting, because for a long time I look at all this quote and all that stuff, I didn't understand until I experienced it on my own. So as a conclusion, if you're watching this before you're about to do your thing, right, it's neither about do it or resist it, but it's to sit with this feeling, right? Observe how you would feel if you try to just sit with it. And it's a tight topic to talk about. I know. If you feel safe, you can talk in my comment section. Alcohol or adult content or cigarette, they've always been there since day one, since before the time you were born. And what makes you okay without it before that? So that's something here, I believe, here, that is missing, something that need attention for. And it's gonna be a dramatic journey, but I believe that you can do this. So can I.